it's Breyers, and today I thought I'd do a very quick video of unboxing the Breyer 2021 Stablemate Club Models. I'm international, so I get all of my models delivered in 2 shipments. So this is the first shipment of the first 3 models. I'm also joined today by Corey, who will be helping me to unbox, no doubt. So in here we should have Atticus, Tobias and Hendrik. I think, or is it Hendrik? I can't remember his name, but the first 3 models from this year, they're in a completely random order, and I will just be literally picking up the nearest box to me and unboxing. I've been very lucky as I've escaped customs once again with this box. Seems that Hermes aren't very good at picking up on customs charges, which is absolutely fine by me. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and do some unboxing. We're going to start with this box. I've loosened the lid just before I take it out. I haven't looked at who's inside, but just so it makes life easier for myself whilst I'm filming. So it looks like we've got Tobias in here, the little G2 Appaloosa. So they've actually just bubble wrapped these guys this time, rather than putting any wire or anything in with them, which I think might be better for them. Might be a little less damaging. Oh, he's actually in a little plastic packet as well. So I will see if we can get into that packet. Here we are now. I've managed to extract Tobias from the little plastic covering. So he's on the G2 Appaloosa mould, and I really like this mould. I know it's one of the more older moulds with it being a G2, but it reminds me so much of some of these stablemates I had in my teens, because they were mainly the sort of G2 and G3 moulds. He's got a super detailed pattern for such a small stablemate. I really like the Appaloosa pattern they've put on him, and I think it works really nicely on this mould. Got a really big wide blaze at the front and a little bit of pinking. 2 front socks with pale hooves, and then his back hooves are dark, and he does have a little bit of striping on this hoof here. As you can see, the pattern is really intricate. He's got a few little smudges on this side, but that are not too noticeable. And his main side is gorgeous. I really like this model. I think I like him a lot more in person than I thought I would like him. Mine doesn't seem to be too shrunken in either. I know a lot of people have noticed some of theirs are a bit shrunken in, but mine doesn't seem to be too bad. And he is super cute. I can't wait to show him. I feel like he will do quite nicely in Appaloosa classes because he's got such a lovely pattern and he's a really nice model. So really impressed with the first model. So let's move on and unbox another. Box number 2 of 3 now, and I have to say actually with the new design of the Breyer boxes for the Stablemates Clubs, they do really remind me of the boxes for like McDonald's chicken nuggets. I know that sounds really bad, but they do, just from the sort of lid and pattern on them. I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. I do quite like how they've packaged them this time. They do seem nice and secure in the packaging, and at least they don't have any wires that can rub on them in their journey. But I just thought I'd share that little insight into my thoughts on the new Breyer packaging for the Stablemates Club this year. So it looks like we've got the Django mould one next. I think his name is Hendrik actually, when I think about it. It's been a few months since he was released, so I have to like remind myself. So I'm going to unwrap him and then we'll have a little look at him in closer detail. So up next we have Hendrik, who I've just unwrapped. So he's on the Django mould, and I do really like this colour on this mould. I think it's my favourite colour they've popped on the mould so far, although I do really wish they'd hurry up and do a black on the mould so I could have just a normal Frisian, because it looks like a horse I ride, one of the Frisians. So I've had a little inspection so far. This model does have a few more flaws than Tobias, and the main one being there's a big sort of dent in the gloss here. A little bit of paint in his mane that shouldn't be, and he's not got the best masking over his forelock there, but he's not terrible. I know they had quite a few problems with this particular model and quite a lot of people were sending theirs back. I don't feel mine's that bad, so I am going to keep him, but I wish they had done a little bit more quality control with him, is my only thing. He does have some really nice little dapples underneath the gloss as well, which the camera might pick up on, but it might not. He's got the 3 white socks there and pale hoofs, and then a dark one at the back. And he is very glossy. So he is a really nice model. He certainly would do really nicely in photo shows, I think, still, if I can manage to photograph him nicely from this side. So I'm quite happy to have him. I am going to rename him though, because I cannot remember for the life of me what his proper name was. So on to our final box, and this must be Atticus. So Atticus was the little Clydesdale, and he is the split of matte and glossy. So I'm going to go ahead and see whether I got a little matte or a glossy. Personally, I'm not too bothered if he's a matte. I quite like mattes for photography, and I find them easier to take photos of a photo showing. So we'll see how he is, whether he's matte or glossy. If he's glossy, I'm sure he'll look lovely anyway. So let's go and see which one I got. I got a matte Atticus, which I'm very happy about. I do like matte models. So he is on the shrunken down Clydesdale mould, and they've given him actually a new mane and tail rather than the bobbed version. I really like this model. I did join the Stablemate Club because of him, so I absolutely love heavy horses and particularly Clydesdales. And when I saw this model, I knew I had to get him, and so I did toy with the idea of joining the Stablemate Club. And then they announced that they were going to do the optional foals at the end of the year, one of which is a little draft foal. So I was like, I'm going to have to join Stablemate Club. So that's how I ended up joining this year anyway. But he's a lovely model. He's got these little Sabino-y type markings on his belly like Clydesdales have. Big wide blaze with a bit of pinking at the end. And then he's got a little bit of a spot under his chin there. I really love this mould with the new mane and tail. I think it looks much nicer than the bobbed version. I am trying to keep a complete conga of this mini shrunken down Clydesdale stablemate, as I currently have Duke and the wood grain as well. So it's nice to add Atticus to the collection, and I think he will look super cute if and when the draft foal for the Stablemate Club comes out with her. So excited to have him. And I'm really pleased with his quality. Overall, he's not too bad. He's certainly much better than the last horse. He does have a very slight rub on his rump just there, but apart from that, he's not too bad. His mapping is pretty good on his marking, so overall, I'm quite happy with him. And really pleased that I joined the Stablemate Club for him. So here's our overview. The 3 Stablemate Club horses. Ranking them in terms of favourite, I would say Atticus is my favourite, followed by Tobias, and then the little Django. I do like the Django, don't get me wrong, I'm just a little bit disappointed with its quality. So I thought I would do one last shot, which will show you them all next to each other. All 3 Stablemate Club horses are now out of their boxes and lined up. So as you can see, the Django mould is absolutely massive. It towers above even the Clydesdale mould. Which is a little bit unrealistic if you have the 2 horses side by side, but I don't mind too much. It's not a massive issue, and I think Breyer have done a lovely job of putting some new cool colours on these moulds. Definitely the Django mould looks lovely in Palomino with those really nice dapples. The mapping for Atticus is great, and I do like the fact they've managed to sculpt a new mane and tail for this mould, as I prefer it to the bobbed version. We also have a really nice Appaloosa pattern with Tobias. I think it does look really realistic, and you can see that they've tried to follow sort of hair patterns and make this a really good realistic Appaloosa. So I am really pleased with him, and I'm really excited to see what the next lot of models in the shipment will be. So I'm going to leave it here for today. Let me know this year, if you're in the Stablemate Club this year, or even if you're not, which one is your favourite. And I'll see you again very soon in another video. Take care now, and bye bye.